Not a nice morning today. As you can see, that's not rain, that's snow. But it's not settling, so hopefully we'll have a snow-free day. Fingers crossed anyway. Are you ready? Come on then, let's go. Let's go. So we've only been out about 10 minutes and they've both decided they've had enough. It's too cold, they want to go home. Can't blame them really. So it's just approaching 10:30 on Friday morning and I'm busy printing off and getting ready website orders that came in overnight. The vlog went live last night when I launched my new abstract grunge grid and scribble masks. So and overnight lots of website orders for them. So thank you to everybody who has put an order in for those masks. I'm in the process, like I say, of producing those. The laser cutter is busy downstairs at this very moment, cutting out all the masks for the orders. I've just printed out all of the packaging, so hopefully I'll be able to get those off in the post tomorrow morning at the earliest. So a quick turnaround on those. So very, very happy about that. So thank you once again to everybody who put orders in last night. Just turn that Tchaikovsky off. So it's Saturday afternoon, it's approaching 2 o'clock. The mission inspiration for week 5 is done. Prompt minimalism. So my art journal page wasn't very involved. Just a few layers, some collage. That's pretty much it really. Didn't really take long to do. But I'm now on the hunt. I'm out. I'm trying to hunt down some tracing paper. I had 2 pads of tracing paper and I've just used the last sheet, so I need more. So I'm going down to the Range here in the UK, which is kind of like a home store, but they've got an arts and crafts section, and it's also where they sell the cheap bottles of cheap tubs of paint. So I'm going to have a look to see if they've got some nice new colours. See what they've got. So I'm back from my quest to find tracing paper. I was in the store, must have been at least 3/4 of an hour, and I was walking up and down every possible conceivable aisle that I could think of that would have the tracing paper. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it at all. It's not with the watercolour paper where it normally is. It's not with the paper pads and that kind of stuff where it normally is. And I was hunting around all over the place trying to find it. And I eventually thought, well, where else would it be? Where else would it be? So I thought, I wonder if it's down the stationery aisle where they sell the writing papers and graph paper. And sure enough, I found it. However, it's obviously the packaging's changed since the last time I had it. The last time I had it, it had a red cover, and they've rebranded it, but it's still their own brand tracing paper. But it wasn't until I got it home, I bought 3 pads. Just to make sure that I had enough. Wasn't until I actually got it home and then I started to play with it, and I suddenly realised that it's completely different to the tracing paper that I had previously. So they've obviously bought it from a different manufacturer, and it is completely different. So this is the old stuff. As you can see, this was a trace that I did for an art journal page project a while ago. I wanted some hearts doing overlaid onto some paper. So that's what I do when I'm trying to create digi stamps. I will do them first on tracing paper, and then I will scan it and then remove the white background just to relieve the black. So that's the old stuff, as you can see, what you'd expect for tracing paper. This is the new stuff. Yeah, big difference. This stuff's shiny. So I did a couple of tests to see whether or not it still worked the same, whether it still worked with pencils and whether it still worked with the permanent ink pens that I use to do my outlining. So I'll go in first with a pencil and then I'll go over with the scribbling marks with a black pen. That's indelible and doesn't reactivate again with water. And oh, sure enough, the black pen still works, and the pencil marks, I still get pencil marks fine. And it scans okay. I thought that perhaps with it being shiny it wouldn't scan as well, but providing that there's not a lot of light to reflect off it, it's still okay. When I say scan, I don't actually use a scanner anymore because mobile telephone technology now is far superior to what it used to be. I can just take a photograph with my phone and that does exactly the same thing. I can bring it into my photo manipulation software, my Adobe Photoshop, and then remove the background, and then from that I can bring it into my Adobe Illustrator program and convert it into a vector or an SVG file if I want to. So all of my digistamps I can do as SVGs. But yeah, completely different paper. When I showed it to Ian, he sort of looked at it and felt it and went, that feels more like glassine than anything else. Yeah, I think he might actually be right. So I might do a test to see whether or not I can bake on it. Because if that is the case, then I don't need to buy tracing paper anymore. I can just buy baking sheets and use that. Why didn't I think of that before? What have I done? I've tidied to the point where I just know I'm never going to find anything ever again. I think it's time for me to replace the oilcloth here. So I thought I'd best have a tidy up, a clean, and a throw out. I know. But, you know, it has to be done. So I now need to go and browse the internet to see if I can find a new oilcloth for the table. So it's Monday afternoon, and while Ian's out with the boys, I thought I would have a little play and a practice with my jelly plate. Now, I'm finding that there's either 3 reasons why it's not going well. One, either my brayers are too gummed up with gunk to get a smooth and even flow of paint on the jelly plate. 2, the jelly plate is old and absolutely knackered and needs reconditioning and perhaps has dried out too much. And 3, perhaps it's just me and I'm just rubbish at it. So I've been trying to do an image transfer. So I've had about 4 or 5 attempts. So this is the reveal, if you like, of the last attempt. So as you can see, I've left it for a good few minutes for it to dry, so it's picking up everything from the plate. And there we go. And I've just dropped it on the floor, but hey ho. Right, ladies and gentlemen, James Dean. Yeah. Like I said, maybe I'm just not very good at it. I think what it may be is it might actually be when I'm printing the image for transfer and I'm laying down the black ink or the black paint, if you like, to transfer the image, the actual paper that I've printed the image onto, I think may be too thin. So as soon as it's getting in contact with the paint, it's starting to buckle a little bit. That's what the lines are. But also it could be that I'm putting too much black paint down. So it may be a combination of those two. So rather than blame the tools, I'm blaming me. But we're getting there. We're getting there slowly, I think. Okay, I'm going to have one more attempt. This time I've used thicker paper to print the transfer image. I'm going to use less paint on the jelly plate, and then when I finally do the final pull to pick up the transfer, I'm going to use thicker cardstock or thicker paper on that too. So fingers crossed. Okay, so far so good. We've got a few kind of lines up at the top here and just underneath his eye. So I'm just going to see if I can just remove those without taking too much other stuff off. But I think I should. Don't mind a little bit of grunge in the background. Maybe use a bit of dry tissue. It's difficult doing this and hold the camera at the same time. But the beauty is you can leave this to dry, because your next layer will pick pretty much everything else up. In theory, anyway. Okay, so just leave that for a minute or two, and then I'll apply another coat of paint over the top, and then we'll lift it off. Okay, so that didn't work. It's actually pulled the top surface of the paper off. But the transfer's all right. Oh well, I think I'm going to call it a day for now. So, do you remember last week when I said that I needed an infill light when I'm sat at my desk here when the blind is down, for when the sun is directly facing this way? So once the blind's down, because obviously I don't want to blind myself, I just needed a little bit of extra light at this side so that my face isn't in shadow. Not that that's a good thing or a bad thing. And I said that I'd thrown away my ring light. Well, I did purchase a new light. There we go. For just that purpose. And the day that I installed it in place, I went into a drawer and found it. Not. So now I have two. So my tidy new desk has a brand new oilcloth. So those of you that remember, the old one had planks running in this direction and was mostly brown and cream, whereas this one has tinges of blue, green, and the planks run in that direction. So just a slight change, but it is clean and it is tidy. The only question now is, how long is it going to remain like that? It's Wednesday afternoon, 1:30. So today I was supposed to be taking Mum to the opticians, where we were both going to have our eyes tested. Unfortunately, Mum was not well enough to go this morning, but it's nothing medical. It's of her own doing. Now, apparently she overindulged in chocolate last night and she's made herself sick. So this morning when I came to pick her up, she hadn't had a very good night's sleep, because she'd been up with tummy troubles most of the night, she says. So I had to go to the opticians, obviously apologise to them. Then I had my eyes tested. My eyes have worsened since the last time that I had them done, so I do need new glasses. My long distance is fine, but my reading capacity, my eyes have worsened on that account, so I will need new glasses for that. So I've chosen some new spectacles, paid for them, and I should be picking those up in a couple of weeks. So I then had to do all the grocery shopping for not only myself and Ian and the pups, but also mum and dad's grocery shopping as well, which is why I'm late getting home. So like I said, it's just now gone 1:30 and I still haven't had any lunch, and I'm starting to get a headache because I hadn't eaten. But hopefully should be home within the next 5 to 10 minutes, and then no doubt I shall fall upon a loaf of bread like a hungry wolf. So a couple of things before I sign off for this week. You may be wondering where Ian is. Well, Ian's busy preparing for his first steampunk fair of the year, which is this weekend, Friday, it's going up on Friday, Saturday the 10th and Sunday the 11th at the Pavilion in Whitby in North Yorkshire. So it's part of the, I don't know whether it's part of the Goth weekend, I don't think it is. I think it might just be the steampunk weekend that they have there. So that's going to be the first show for Ian this year, but also the first show for Karen, our friend Karen, as well. So they're busy preparing for this weekend. Karen will be launching a lot of her new products this weekend over in Whitby. So if you're up there, pop across and say hello to Ian, and also have a look and say hello to Karen as well. So he's busy in the garage working, making lots of noise, banging, crashing, swearing, that kind of stuff, as he does. But also I wanted to just jump on and quickly let you know that Ian and I have been asked to do another class in the Lincoln area. So it's at the North Hykeham Memorial Hall on Friday the 15th of March. So we did one last year, we did a mixed media canvas last year, and everybody had great fun. We got completely messy, but had a lovely day. So we've been asked to go back and do another one, so it can't be that bad. But this time we're going to be creating a journal. We're going to be doing some journal making. I think we're also going to be doing a box with a journal inside. So there's going to be some construction, there's going to be some painting, there's also going to be a little bit of journal making going on in there as well. So if you're in the Lincolnshire area and interested in coming along to do that class, then please send me a message through my website. There is a link below the video. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on my blog, then the contact me, is it in that corner? I can never remember which way around it is. Anyway, there's a contact me button up on the menu bar. Just click on that and then send me an email asking me, or let me know, or registering your interest, if you like, and I will get back to you with the location, the costs, the start time, and that kind of thing. Hopefully by then we'll have some photos as well of the project that we're going to be doing on the day. But usually when Ian and I do these kind of classes, we also take with us a little bit of a shop. So there'll be one section of the room which will have a couple of tables out, and we'll have some of our products on the table to purchase. So I'll be taking stencils and masks and some stamps, maybe some indigo blue stamps, a lot of my laser cut MDF shapes and projects, 3D projects that I do, like the Santos doll, that kind of thing. and a few other bits and pieces. Ian will be taking some of his products, some of his pin badges, some of his ephemera kits and journal making bits and pieces too. So even if you are not able to do the class, then please, if you're wanting to come along and just have a browse at some of the products that we've got for sale, send me an email as well, because I'll let you know what time we're going to be breaking for lunch, because that's going to be the easiest time to come down and have a browse at the shop. So like I said, if you're interested in attending on the class, please send me a message through the website, and then I'll get back to you with more details. So that's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.